So what I'm doing on this job is I'm going to be skimming out these whole ceilings. You can see this light all the way around. So what that does is it casts a shadow across these ceilings and they look really bad and need to be skimmed out. So I'm going to first put blue tape around the perimeter of my workspace. The blue tape is to tape the actual RAM board down onto. That way dust can't get in and underneath. So I'm just using the Scotch Blue 14-day clean removal tape. Does anyone else love the smell of this tape? It smells like gummy candies to me for some reason. Now, one thing I've mentioned in previous videos, when protecting hardwood floors, you want to make sure that you don't get a lot of UV. Because if you have UV lighting hitting the floor and then half of it's protected, it only takes a few days to a week to leave a line where the sun will bleach the existing floor that isn't protected and the stuff under there will be preserved and you'll actually see a noticeable line. So don't do that. But in here we've got shades drawn and it's not getting a lot of natural light, so I don't need to worry about that. I just need to worry about the workspace. So you want to make sure that you've cleaned your floors well, that there's no debris that's going to get under the RAM board, and that there isn't a bunch of dust that's going to stop the tape from sticking well. This isn't going well already. Why does this always happen when I turn the camera on? I'm just going to eyeball it with the line of the floor. It's a bad roll. Can't believe this. Something about turning a camera on that makes all the mistakes happen. Make sure it's really nicely put down so it's not going to peel back up when the RAM board starts to make it want to peel back up. You guys will see what I'm talking about in a bit. Alright, you guys, I'm going to teach you a little trade secret here. You take a putty knife, cut it off nice and square. Again! That was a waste of tape. Should have used it anyways. Okay, I'm going to show you that trick again because it works really nicely when you get to corners like this. And this works really well for taping things off when painting. You just put your knife right in the corner like that, nice and square. Tear, perfect square corner. Mind blown. Sometimes the simplest tricks are just so easy and effective. You may think it's insignificant, but it's all those little tips that add up to tidy work that give you a nice end result. Sloppy work gives you sloppy results. So take your time, do it nice. Next it's time to roll out the protection. Now I wish I had a nice fresh roll of RAM board here, but all I've got is a bunch of loose ends from jobs, so we're going to be kind of scabbing it together here. But I think you'll get the idea anyways. So one of the most frustrating things about this stuff is the fact that, especially getting to the end of the roll, it's pretty tightly packed. It just wants to keep rolling back up on itself. Let's get this rolled out, see how long it is. Ah, it's just long enough, that's great. So one of the things that I do to make this stuff easier to work with is flip it upside down. You don't always have to do this, but it can make your life easier. I am going to line this up with my existing tape edge. And you want to leave most of the blue tape uncovered. That way you have more room to tape onto it. But I've got this just sort of eyeballed here. I'm going to eyeball it with this line. I know that it's about this long, so that's about what I'm going to cut off. Careful not to slice yourself or the floor. Make sure you have a nice new sharp blade. That helps a lot. So right here I'm just scoring this. I'm not going right through. Then it folds nice and easy. And almost like drywall, you can just slice that off. Slide Slide that up right here. It's good there, but of course, it's no good here. Again, I'm gonna really carefully just give that a score. I almost don't recommend doing this, but if you're very gentle and your knife is sharp, it will fold over and give you a line that you can now cut from. So I'm just going to this side of it. If you take your time, it'll follow that line pretty easily. So now we're good there. Let's get down to the other end. Okay, here's this part, and you can do this if it's inside a cramped room. So if I'm inside a room where I'm hemmed in by walls, I'm still gonna cut it maybe about 1 foot long or 6 inches long. Then you can just fold it. And in fact, if you have more, it's easier because it likes to fold a bit nicer. I line it up here. That helps keep the cut straight. Fold it down. Crease it nicely. So you can just pop your knife right through. I'm actually going to cut a bit more of that crease off because I knew it was a bit too long. That's how you get a nice square cut, is by folding those lines together. Like when you fold it back, line it up, that'll ensure that your cut's square. So at this stage, you can tape your first sheet down. I recommend not taping the ends down, just the long strip, because otherwise it's going to start to bind up and it won't sit flat when you go to start taping it down to the next sheet. So I usually just do the long run and the joints and leave the ends till the very end. That's why they're the ends. I really like to use ramboard tape to tape this down. You can also use red tape, like tuck tape, but that one you have to use a knife to cut, so it gets really annoying, whereas the ramboard tape just tears by hand really easily. I'll often even start in the middle, just to ensure that it doesn't buckle on me. And I'll work from the middle this way again. Knee pads is a really good idea too. I didn't bring any. You can see it almost looks too short until you stand on it, which shows you how much slack there is and why it buckles easily. So normally I would be rolling out another row, but this is where we're reusing some of this stuff. Overlap it a couple inches, 1 inch. So let's get a nice square cut on this, because this isn't going to be good for anything. Actually, this piece will be good for covering up any of the parts that are too short. Don't leave your knife laying around sticking up in socks, or you could step on it, cut yourself. Ask me how I know. I'm going to line it up, 1 inch overlap. You can use a roll of tape to flatten it down. Steady your delicate little hands. Again, I'm going to do that same thing where I eyeball that, cut it back about the same distance that is. I mean, you could get all retentive and use a tape measure if you want. Remember, be careful. Don't cut that floor. Just score it ever so gently. The knife likes to follow that line you made. Gonna tape the middle. Now I got one last chunk. Reach as far as I can. Don't like this edge. Can't tape it nicely. Again, I'm still just focusing on the long joints. Ooh, look who's got his foot perilously close to his open knife. Take that other square edge I made. Line that up there. That's what you get when you scab it together. It's all gonna be fine though, as long as you tape it nicely. Now, at this point, I can actually tape down these seams. Let's start with this one right here. Now I'm kneeling on my open knife, even dumber. So we have some tuck tape though. Ooh, fancy blue tuck tape. But yeah, this works. This is what I used to use before there was ram board and ram tape. You want to have your blade of your knife just poking out enough to stab the tape. Give her a little stab. It works. It's just not as easy. You guys don't need to watch me do this whole thing. I should hope that by this point, you're getting the idea. Give it a little stab. And we are done. That's it. That's how you protect the floor. Quick editor's note. I wanted to show you guys one more tip about how to cut this stuff nice and square without having to fold it. But I forgot to do that while I was protecting the floor over there. So how you can get a nice easy square cut on this stuff and also on the ram board is, get a decent amount of blade out. But what I do, you can't usually start it like this or just pulls, but just poke through. And then what I do is I run my hand, come look in here. I run my hand down the roll. And that gives you a pretty darn square cut. Reasonably square and straight to start off your next run with. So that's it. I hope you guys found this useful. Like I said, if you're doing inside a room with walls all around, it's really the same process. You could see how I navigate little nooks and crannies in the wall. It's no big deal. You just be careful. Don't cut the floor. Don't cut yourself. Anyways, thanks for watching Vancouver Carpenter. Hope you got something out of this useful. Something useful out of this. Be quiet and stop judging me. You guys are so mean. After I just showed you how to protect your floors properly and now they're not gonna get scratched and you're still judging me. Anyways, I gotta go. This video is clearly over. Also, on another note, you need some electrical work. Call Redison Electric done. If you're in Vancouver and you need electrical work, Redison Electric are rad dudes that'll do your wiring, okay? I gotta go.